Good morning. I am Pastor Leah Kabira. Today is the second day of our journey through Holy Week. Each day I will continue the story of Jesus' last week in Jerusalem. Today we will encounter Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. He is in anguish, knowing what lies ahead, yet remaining faithful. Meanwhile, his friends sleep. At the end of this video, I will invite you to reflect upon the question I pose. Please enter your comments in the comment section for this video. A reading from the Gospel of Matthew. Then Jesus went with them to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to his disciples, "Sit here while I go over there and pray." He took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, and began to be grieved and agitated. Then he said to them, "I am deeply grieved, even to death. Remain here and stay awake with me." And going a little farther, he threw himself on the ground and prayed, "My Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. Yet not what I want, but what you want." Then he came to the disciples and found them sleeping, and he said to Peter, "So could you not stay awake with me 1 hour? Stay awake and pray that you may not come into the time of trial. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." Again, he went away for the second time and prayed, "My Father, if this cannot pass unless I drink it, your will be done." Again, he came and found them sleeping, for their eyes were heavy. So leaving them again, he went away and prayed for the third time, saying the same words. Then he came to the disciples and said to them, "Are you still sleeping and taking your rest? See, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Get up, let us be going. See, my betrayer is at hand." While he was still speaking, Judas, one of the 12, arrived. With him was a large crowd with swords and clubs from the chief priests and the elders of the people. Now the betrayer had given them a sign, saying, "The one I will kiss is the man. Arrest him." At once he came up to Jesus and said, "Greetings, Rabbi," and kissed him. Jesus said to him, "Friend, do what you are here to do." Then they came and laid hands on Jesus and arrested him. Suddenly, one of those with Jesus put his hand on his sword, drew it, and struck the slave of the high priest, cutting off his ear. Then Jesus said to him, "Put your sword back into its place, for all who take the sword will perish by the sword. Do you think that I cannot appeal to my Father, and he will at once send me more than 12 legions of angels? But how then would the scriptures be fulfilled, which say it must happen in this way?" At that hour Jesus said to the crowds, "Have you come out with swords and clubs to arrest me as though I were a bandit? Day after day I sat in the temple teaching, and you did not arrest me. But all this has taken place so that the scriptures of the prophets may be fulfilled." Then all the disciples deserted him and fled. Jesus is fearful. He knows that the authorities will apprehend him soon, and he knows that he will be put to death. He doesn't want his life to end with crucifixion, yet he is committed to doing what needs to be done. He asks his friends to stay awake with him, yet they fall asleep. Perhaps the disciples are used to knowing that Jesus will make everything okay, So they may have fallen asleep, thinking that Jesus would take care of whatever was on his mind now, too. But he had begged them to stay awake. How might things have been different if Peter and the sons of Zebedee had stayed awake with Jesus?